Games, board games. I might be talking about trying different forms of games, but I'm not gonna shout. When you go off to play test. Don't just try the version that you think's best, because sometimes a crazy one might inspire you to find the fun. You might have some new ideas. Trying crazy things, it's what we're talking about. Going off and experimenting, and I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Hello to me. It is lovely to see you. It is, well, 5 minutes past 10. It's 10 a.m. ish UK time. Time for Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether. And today I'm basically saying if you've got an idea, don't always be trying the thing that's best, especially if you're focusing on the rules design. Sometimes it's worth just trying something outlandish. Sometimes it's worth just trying something to learn more about your game to see how it works out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get on to recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. So yesterday, did a bit of posting. I put a new thing up on my web shop. So if you want to buy a game about stuffing balloons as a team without talking, but it's a card game, there are no actual balloons, now you can. Um, and I went dancing. That was nice. I mean, 9 out of 10 of the people that I went to dance with weren't transphobic jerks, but yet it's the one that was that kind of, yeah, always makes you feel not welcome, and yeah, that's not a great feeling. But generally, it was a good day, and I'm glad that I went off dancing. Let's talk about a brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant. I'm going to say that colours, just colours, and you know what? Actually, I'm going to say architecture because I mean it's pretty cool that you've got that kind of egg cup thing, and like when we look at these buildings, the multiple stories, and like it's almost inspired by 80s brutalist, but then it's got a bit of more interesting structure to it. And when you look over there at Waterloo Bridge, just such a lovely bridge. I mean, spanning the length of the Thames and off into the distance where you can barely see. Yeah, architecture. I mean, think about how buildings look from the outside, thinking about the space and how you live in them. That is a fantastic thing. As always, feel free to comment, ask questions from like, follow. And what I'm basically saying today is try things. Back when I was working on In a Bind, now known as Yogi, there was one version I tried which had no physicality at all. I was like, okay, this version, the physical version, is nice, it's fun. Could there be like a vocal version? I tried it. I, had people saying things, and there were like certain prompts, and if you drew a card, you had to say certain things. If someone else said a certain thing, you had to say certain things. So it became about memory. And I think what that taught me was that there was a potential for the game to be more about memory. And that version was terrible, like it was totally scrapped. But the point is, by pushing out into the more extreme version, I learned more about the structure of the game. I learned more about what to avoid. I learned, like, by seeing the extremes, then I learned more about the version where it wouldn't be as noticeable. Do you know what I mean? And so, yeah, sometimes you just want to try things, make some new cards, and that's what I'm doing today. I am off to totally redesign the deck for a game about selecting 7 cards, speedily searching for synergies, and I'm trying to take away all the points values from the card and just make it about the combos. Will that work? Will that not work? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. And multiple things working for other things. Maybe I'll get some inspiration to feed back into the new game. Because fundamentally, games, you don't have all the ideas straight away. There's infinite ideas. But then by making a version of the game that's kind of similar but actually different, by trying this kind of crazy ideas that you know isn't going to be the final game, then you can get ideas and come back and bring them into the main game. So that's basically what I'm all about, and that's what I'm saying. Try out the crazy thing, and you'll maybe get inspired, maybe you'll learn something, and it probably won't work, but if it does, then even better. Hello, Rob. As always on a Friday, this is a super short stream, as you can tell by the fact that I'm outside, ready to go in there, um, where we playtest. And I hope that you have a lovely day. Before I disappear, as always, like to give a question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. My question of the day is: when's the last time that you just tried something outlandish? And if you've done it recently for a game, maybe talk about something in real life. Well, not that game design isn't real life, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to say, yeah, doing something outlandish. Obviously, making the I like tried to roll and move last week, but yeah, I'm actually struggling to think. But I know that I've seen some like bungee jumping, like trapeze style thing near where I live, and I'm thinking, wow, I should maybe try that. So this question's made me think, oh, you know what? I should definitely try that, but I can't think. Um, Actually, you know what? Um, Not too long ago, I am still kind of watching my weight for a couple of more weeks. I'm having lots of potatoes. I had some potatoes just with cinnamon, then some potatoes just with cumin, some potatoes just with paprika, just to learn the taste of the spices and yeah, really feel these spices that are just on the potatoes because potatoes feel like the most yeah, I mean, not that they don't have a taste, but they are relatively tasteless, so it gives a really good base to just try things on. So I'm going to say that as my last outlandish thing. Over to you. What are you up to? You can share possibly if you want to. Whether it's fun and frivolous, super serious, please do share. I promise I care. I'm going in there to playtest. What about you? Um, Tonight I will be preparing for next week's extravaganza. Next week is my 700th stream. I'm having an amazing cast of people, and I will hopefully be able to announce it tonight. To recap and wrap up before we finish up, basically, try the thing. If you're like, if there's something that you're not sure about, if you're not sure about the details, then try it and you will learn. Because ultimately, that's the key to game design: iteration, learning about the structure, learning about the game, learning about what's possible. So try the thing, try the outlandish thing, and learn from that. Be inspired. It probably won't work, but hey, worst case scenario, you learn something. And I've been Bez. I am stuffed by Bez in all the places. If you want to check out my future streams, tomorrow I'm going to do a solo show of yeah, what am I doing? I am playing something. I've got to pull up on Twitter. I'll probably be playing Solar Storm by Aidan Laufer. That seems to be the popular vote. On Sunday, I will be talking about action timers and so forth. Please share to spread the word. Thank you very much, everyone. It has been a delight to chat. And Timmy says, I have smoked sardines. Wow. Do you have a smoker? Do you have like a big smoker, or is it like smoked sardines out of a tin? Because that's not something that we generally tend to get here in the UK. But that's pretty cool. And so that sounds like a nice thing to look forward to. Um, just from the grocery store. Okay, well, that's not something we get here. So for me, that sounds like quite an exciting thing. I mean, I'm not sure I've ever seen smoked sardines, to be honest. So enjoy and have a lovely day. Lots of love. And as always, the last thing I want to say is bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone.